Hi everyone, it's Point99 here with a Sims 4 speed build. I've never actually recorded audio before, voiceover before, for Sims 4, so I thought I'd give it a go. I hope it's alright. So this build is a sort of modern barnyard conversion. I kind of wanted it to be sort of a farmhouse looking type house on the outside, and it to be very modern but cozy and warm on the inside, because normally when I do modern houses they kind of look a little stark and a little uninviting on the inside, because I just use plain white and black, so I try to use more greys and neutral tones. So at the moment I'm just doing the outside of the house, seeing how it goes, where I want the windows to be. I struggled with the windows on the top floor because I didn't want them to be, kind of wanted them to be higgledy-piggledy, so it was more to do with the inside than the outside, the top floor windows, so that's why I deleted them just then, and I'm going to put them back in when I actually create the inside. I struggled a lot with the layout of the outside, the inside, that's why you can see me going back and forth quite a lot in the living room. Here I am putting in the fireplace. I really wanted the fireplace to be a central part of the living room, and I wanted it to be on that end wall, but I had no idea what I was going to do with the sofas in this living room, so I really struggled here. I kept putting different things down, changing them about and deleting them. It took me quite a while to work out how I wanted the living room to be. I knew I wanted sort of rustic tables, and I kind of wanted it to be like found items, so like a found table or some planks of wood that they used from the original building before they turned it into a house. So that's what I was going for with those tables. I ended up doing something really cool with the fireplace, but you'll see that in a minute. I really struggled with the flooring as well, so I keep going back and forth on everything in this build, but I think it worked out really nicely in the end. I hope you guys like it. I hope this audio is alright. I don't know, I've never done one of these before, so I'm kind of nervous. I hope I sound alright. For the walls I went with a really kind of warm grey, because I didn't want it to look too cool and uninviting, so I went with this really nice sort of warm pinkish grey, which I really liked. And then I wanted to do these slats on the wall to look like reclaimed wood panelling from the old farmhouse that used to be here. So that's what I was going for. I really liked these square tiles for the kitchen and for the whole room, but I ended up changing it because it didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. I did want it to be one big open space, but it felt too much like a corridor when I didn't have that dividing wall, so I put it in. I really like putting the fridge into that tall cabinet. I've never done it before, but I think it looks alright. It doesn't look perfect, but it looks good enough for me. I really wanted that whole thing to just be one big archway. I know I could have done it with pillars, but I kind of wanted it to be an actual arch, but there aren't any taller ones. I wish there were more like medium size, medium height and tall height, especially tall height doors, because I feel like there's only about 2, if I'm not mistaken, and I get really annoyed because I wish there was more really tall stuff, and then also medium height. Here I'm thinking about putting picnic benches instead. I would have liked it if there was some more ones without the stones, if that makes sense. If the ones I just put down had stones in the middle, and I didn't like that at all. Here I am struggling with the flooring as well. It took me ages to work out the flooring. I just couldn't. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I kind of thought that could be okay. The floor that's there could be okay, but then I wanted to put a rug down, and none of them were really working for me. So I changed it all up in a minute. I think this is the one I end up going with, apart from I'm changing it now, because I'm really indecisive when I build. I like to try out everything. Oh, I put the stones back for the kitchen, because I really liked that. I put some different ones, but it was the same idea. Oh, by the way, those sofas are custom content. They've just a reskin of one of the sofas in game. It's just a different colour. I ended up changing that for when I put it on the gallery, so that it can be downloaded. There's that cool flooring and walls I did for the fireplace. I really like it. It gives it sort of a feature. I don't know if that's the right word, but it gives it like a really nice effect, and I really like it. A little hearth, but really modern. I wanted to put mirrors, but then I thought it took away from the effect of the walls. I think the day I was doing this build, I just got the kitchen pack, or I got it the day before, so I wanted to use all of the different things that were in that pack. That's why I'm putting everything up there now. And I thought about putting those shelves, but then I didn't want to ruin the effect. I couldn't work out what was going on downstairs in that big gap, so I just left it for ages until I'd finished with the upstairs. I think there are 3 beds, 2 baths in this. No, 3 beds, 2 baths, and a toilet in this house. So it's good for 2 kids and mum and dad, or maybe more adults. It depends on how you want to play, but I decorated it for 2 sort of young adult teenagers. Yeah, in this bathroom I wanted the bath to sort of be built in, so I struggle with the cabinets a lot, but I eventually get it to work. And I change up the bath quite a bit, so it's a different one. And I put in a window, you'll see that in a minute, and I think that window looks really cool. There's the blue bath. It's like a navy blue. It looks black, but it's a navy blue. I really like it. And there's that window I was talking about. I think it looks really cool. Oh, halfway through I was doing this bathroom, I realised I hadn't put a toilet in, so I kind of added a separate room onto this bathroom just to be the toilet, because I didn't really want to ruin the effects that I'd already given. So here I am doing it now. I'm kind of working out where I want the toilet. I ended up putting that wall back in and putting a door, because I think having it separate gave the room a little nicer look. Yeah, I haven't done many of the wall coverings here, but I'll do them in a little bit. I kind of wanted to get the layout first. And I started putting 2 bedrooms at the end of that house, but I ended up making it just 1 room and changing the layout of this completely at the end. So yeah, you can see there's a lot of doors here, and they all go almost immediately, and I change it all around. And this is the room on the end is the girls' room, and the room next to it is the boys' room, and then next to that I put another bathroom, and then in the gaps I make it sort of a lounge, snug type area. The girls' room is my favourite room that I've done for a female sim in ages. I think it's really girly, but not overwhelmingly girly. Sometimes in sims I notice girly stuff is all bright pink and a bit too much. So this one, it's still pink and it's still quite girly, but I think it's quite a refined look. I really like it. I like how I did the mirrors. I kind of wanted this to be a vanity, not a desk. So I added some mirrors and then a lot of bits and bobs like nail polish and perfumes and stuff like that, and I really liked it. I really like these new artworks, well not new now, but the artworks which have like multiple paintings in one thing. I think they were in the movie hangout stuff pack. I use them all the time. I really like them. I like how they come in lots of different colours, so I use them all the time. Also, I really like those little I don't know what they're called, like cushions for the floor. And in the colours, I wish there were more neutral colours of those, but those ones worked well in this room. I thought about adding some clothes on top of the wardrobe, but that was I changed my mind immediately. I'm just about done with this bedroom. Just trying to add some more stuff to the walls. I think I take it away. I'm not sure. Maybe not. And then I move on to the boys' room. It could be a girls' room. The boys' room isn't very... It could be either. Anybody can have it. It's more of a musical room. Somebody who likes music, so a musical sim could stay in there. Oh, I'm just doing the lighting in this room. I forgot that I did that. Okay, here we go. Here's the boys / other bedroom. I wanted it to be quite neutral. I didn't want these rooms to be too themed, if that makes sense. I mean, this room is quite themed with the music, but I wanted it to be quite a neutral room, so anybody could move in there and it'd be quite easy to change it up. But I really like these posters as well. I would have them in my room here at home, but if I could, they're really cool. I make sure I have lots of bookcases in my builds, because my house at home, we have, our house is mainly bookcases. It's about 90% bookcase, it feels like. So that's why I always add a ton of books, just because that's what I'm used to. I think a lot of my builds can end up looking quite the same, because I try and do stuff that is familiar to me, and that's obviously bookcases and stuff like that. So sometimes I try to not have builds with bookcases in, but that's not very often. I like those purple musical things, posters. They're really cool. Then I'm adding more bookcases. Like I said, I had all bookcases all the time. Here I'm doing the master bedroom. Well, at least I'm doing the windows for the master bedroom. I kind of struggled with these windows. I kept changing it about. But I think it ended up looking quite nice. Oh, I added a TV area, TV upstairs, so the parents can get away from the kids and still watch TV. And I added the fireplace to mimic the one from downstairs, which I quite liked. I really like that fireplace. I'd like to have it in my own house. That'd be great. So I think if I stop rushing around, I'm starting on the bottom floor. I really struggled with this. It might not look like it, but I cut a bit out because I changed it up a lot because I couldn't work out what I wanted to do. I put this little half bathroom, just a sink and a toilet, down here, because it's always nice to have a toilet on the ground floor. And then I ended up adding like a little snug TV area and a bar down here. Yeah, I wanted it to be quite casual, the downstairs area, because the living room, the main living room, is quite not formal, but more formal than this area down here is. See, there's me adding more bookcases. I ended up taking, I think, one of those away, but yeah, there's never enough bookcases in The Sims, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I did this weird closet idea where I put the walls in between to be cubby holes. I quite liked it, but I thought it looked a bit strange in this build. I might do it in a different build of mine. Sorry about the camera rushing around everywhere. I'll try and stop doing that. I know it's a bit annoying. Can I get seasick? Here's me adding the bar area. Sometimes I don't like putting bars in residential buildings because I feel like, at least where I'm from, you don't really have bars too much inside people's buildings. You might have like a drinks cabinet, but that's about it. But I thought it worked in this space, so I added it. Here's me just working out if everything flowed correctly, because I think that's really important in a house, to see if it actually works together, if you could live in it. Because obviously if a house doesn't work for when you're playing the game, there's not much point in it. I couldn't work out what to put in this huge area, so I think I ended up just putting a chess table, and that's about it, really. That's me putting more of those paintings, but I think I took it out then. I'm just trying to get some inspiration from these builds, the pre-made rooms, to see what I can put in that gap, because I was really struggling. I found it really hard to work out what to put. I wish there were more chess tables in The Sims. I'm never happy with all of them. I skipped ahead a little bit here because I spent ages just working out what I was doing with the driveway. I couldn't work it out, but then I felt like I wanted a pool house, so I built one of those. It's just a simple little stone barn with a open wall, so the pool's kind of sort of half inside out, half inside, half outside. I think at this point I start putting some fencing in, but then I realised I really didn't like any of that fencing and I wanted to change it around, so I ended up actually flipping the house and putting it the other way around, so the front of the house faces the street, and I think that works really well because I was really struggling on this bit. I cut a load out where I just try and work out what was happening. So here's me flipping that the pool house. The tiles really frustrated me because I spent ages trying to get them symmetrical, then I had to do it all over again. Yeah, I try and make a pathway down to the main path. I end up keeping that, I quite like it, but I do change some bits. Like, I put all these planters in, but I didn't really like them even when I was putting them in, but I didn't know what else to put, so I ended up taking a lot of them out, but I really struggled with knowing how to. I wanted a pathway to the building, but I didn't know how I wanted to do it, so I just tried and put a lot of things in. I started off wanting to go onto a sort of yellow scheme when I was doing this because I saw the pool loop, but I ended up not being able to do that. There wasn't enough yellow kind of objects to do that, but instead I do this really cool stove area. I really like it. It's a sort of built-in stove area, which I think looks really cool because sometimes I feel like the barbecue oven, I don't know what the word is, kind of looks a bit lonely sometimes in builds, so I wanted it to be put together with something. I do a circular garden flower bed area. It took me ages to actually get it to work fencing wise. It doesn't look like ages because I've sped it up obviously, but it really took me a very long time to get it to work. I struggled a lot with it, but I think it looks alright. It doesn't really fit too much, but I thought it was nice to have a lot of greenery in one part of the build. So I am just putting plants in, and there wasn't any particular order, I just kind of wanted to fill the space. Normally I would choose the plants according to what I feel like and what suits the house, but this time I sort of just put everything in until it sort of all was filled up. I skipped ahead because I struggled. I had a little bit of a bug in my game, so I skipped that bit. All I was doing was putting plants in. You can see it's quite full. I really like the effect. I think it looks really nice. I try to fix the fencing, but it never works. Here's me trying to work out what I'm doing with these hedgerows, because I really hated the look, but I didn't know what else to do. So I try and putting different plants in, try doing different things. It doesn't end up working. I think I end up putting these big trees in, and then at some point I flip the house, and I can say earlier. Here we go. That's when I did it. That's when I was like, yeah, this is gonna work. I like this. And I ended up still having the little planter things, but having much less of them, so it wasn't so overwhelming. So I've almost finished this build, there's not much left, but I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you give this a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.